because that's when a lot of our leaders didn't know what to do. A lot of us didn't know what was going on. We're trying to leave, but then others in our group or others in the Unite the Right movement are, trying to stay, and we see people getting hurt. They're getting pepper sprayed, rocks are being thrown at them, and it just into chaos, and we all just try to leave because then there's SWAT coming on, and so we have to leave now or we're going to be arrested, and it's all just fell apart, and we didn't want to have our permit revoked, but it happened.
Take me back to Friday night and the picture of you yelling or screaming. I think from what I could see, there was a lot of blood and soil chants. Is that what you were chanting?
No. I didn't expect those chants. Actually, I didn't know what I expected, to be honest. But with that, I did not engage in Jews will not replace us. I thought that was really stupid to say in the first place. I didn't. Blood and soil, that's National Socialism. I didn't participate in that. The only one I did participate in, the one I agree with, is one people, one nation, and immigration. And while I don't think total immigration's bad, no immigration's kind of extreme. Some immigration's always okay, but I like the chant of one people as united force. That's the only one I truly participated in, and that was the chant of the second photo of more to my face. That was what I was saying, and then the more screaming photo was, if I remember correctly, was when we're at the statue and there's not a whole lot of distance between us and Antifa, and that's when the tensions really were getting high, because a few of our guys, some of our guys were edging closer, they were getting closer to us, and it was definitely tense. The whole plan was to sing a song and then go, but it wasn't going to work out like that. We knew it. Some of us were kind of talking, do we go? And I remember the one thing that came to mind was that, this is our home. That's what I said. It was a little bit longer. I can't remember what else I said, but that's what I was saying when I was screaming is, this is our home. We had the right to stay here like everyone else. We want to defend our heritage. And I'm not sure when the photo was taken, that part, but that's most likely when the photo was taken, but I don't know exactly. So I hope that it's understood that I did not participate in the blood and soil, the Jews will not replace us, any of that. There is no photo of me sitting there quietly, but that was what I was doing most of the time.
I want to read you a statement that the president of your university put out this morning. I'm sure you've probably seen it.
I think I have, yeah.
And I just want to read you a part of it. Racism and white supremacist movements have a corrosive effect on our society. These movements do not represent our values as a university. A little bit later, as an institution, we remain firm in our commitment in denouncing all forms of bigotry and racism, which have no place in a free and equal society.
Well, I believe that's true in all cases. I mean, I don't consider myself a bigot. I try not to hate people. I will talk to anyone that is willing to talk to me. And of course, diversity means diversity of political beliefs. I understand that being an identitarian, I am in the minority with these political beliefs, and that I don't expect to convert millions of people. But so, with the threat of me being expelled, I'm hoping that that statement stands, that I have the right to hold these political beliefs, and that I have no intention of harming or threatening anyone upon UNR. I've had these beliefs all throughout college, and I've never done it before. I've never threatened anyone. I have no intention to. I've actually messaged a few people, well, they messaged me through Facebook, some of the few people that aren't death threats, is that, they go to UNR, and one person I've been talking to he's a queer student, and I'm actually trying to convince him to have a talk, not a debate or anything, just to sit and talk. And so maybe even one person can understand that although I'm an identitarian, I'm not hateful, that I won't want to remove their rights or beat them up or lynch anyone. I'm not a Klansman. I want nothing to do with that. So I'm hoping that Mark Johnson's words can remain true, and that there can be peace at the university.
You told me earlier on the phone that you don't think that you'll have your job much longer. What makes you say that?
My job is very person to person. It's not retail, but it requires a lot of personal interaction. It requires a lot of, people who I'm helping to be very comfortable. And with this out, I don't think I'd be allowed to have this conversation with literally every single person every single time I go to work. So I do not believe that the university would appreciate me being in that position, because there are people who would be very uncomfortable knowing that I was at that rally, and that's their right to do so. And so I personally believe, I have not been informed, but I personally believe that the university will ask me to resign, or will just terminate my position altogether. And while I do not want to be terminated from my job, if that means a little more peace of the university, I'll be willing to compromise.
This potentially, that move, would potentially be the beginning of you struggling to get job opportunities for a while. An easy Google search will bring up a lot of stuff about you. Has that set in yet?
No, it honestly hasn't. I've got a lot of the alternative right people have told me that they're, supporting me, emotionally, they're going to help me, but they all pretty much warned that, jobs are going to be tough for a long time, and we'll help out when we can, but there's not a lot we can do other than that. So in terms of job prospects, that's one reason why I'm talking to the news and everyone I can, is try and settle the situation out, that I'll need employment, and that hopefully the situation will calm down, and that I can return to regular employment and just hold my political beliefs, and they can hold their political beliefs, and there can be no violence between the two groups.
Sure. Let's see, what else we
Do you
have.
feel you think you can be safe at university now?
No.
All this stuff is out?
No, I do not believe I'm safe. I'm going to the police first thing in the morning. I'm going to go home and print out all the death threats I feel are legitimate, and I will go to the police station Monday morning, and I will talk to them about what I can do, and then I will go to the university asking what they can do to protect me. I do not feel safe walking alone at the university, or walking home, or driving there, or taking the bus. I feel like at the University of Nevada, Reno, that there are a lot of people who are tweeting, UNR hate, and so everyone knows I go there. It's not a huge university, only about 20,000 students, and I'm pretty recognizable. And I truly fear that, someone will just come up and hit me in the face and run away, and it will be, no one will support me, no one will care, and so I don't think I'll be threatened no one's going to stab me, but, I truly believe that someone might assault me while I'm there.
It sounds like you do plan on staying.
Yes, I'm not going anywhere. I went to that rally legally, and those beliefs are protected by the First Amendment. I have the right to hold them, and I'm not going to change my name and leave the state. That I have every right to be there. There are people at UNR who I guarantee are Antifa, who also are the extreme left. So it's hypocrisy that only someone who you consider on the more right wing to be expected to just be intimidated to leave. I've been to the university for 3 years, going on 4. I intend to graduate. I will go on to continue my education, and I do not believe that leaving will solve anything. That means they win. That means all the threats win. The people who threaten my family, people who threaten me, my friends, they win. I can't have that happen.
Sure. Let's see what we haven't touched on here. Who have you spoken with at the university yet?
I have been in contact very lightly with the college Republicans. I have told them to please disavow me. I do not want them associated with me. I understand I'm pretty much a pariah at the moment, and I know I want them to defend me. And then I read there was a statement that condoned the violence. I'm not sure if anything to do with that, but I'm glad that they did disavow me. Other than that, I have not spoken to anyone directly. I have emailed the university several times, but I've not gotten a response back. So we'll see how that happens. I do understand there's a petition to have me expelled, and so I intend to contact the student conduct to ensure that I'm not being expelled, because if there is a threat of expulsion, I will challenge that in court.
Okay.
Do you think you did the right thing by attending the rally? You know, you got 20,000 students, and one student from UNR goes to their rally. Do you think you did the right thing?
Only one from Nevada, actually. It was actually pretty surprising when they were there. I believe I did what I felt was right with my own personal ideology. I did nothing wrong either by going there. It's kind of a amoral decision. It's not good or bad. I went there to express my personal political beliefs like everyone does. A Democrat goes to a Democratic rally, a Republican goes to right. People go to Marxist meetings. I can go to an alternative right meeting.
If you could go back to Friday afternoon, would you do all this again?
Yes, I would do this. I stand with my ideology as an identitarian, and I will continue to march and to honor Thomas Jefferson. The one thing I would take back is the anger. I got caught up in the moment. I guess you can say mob mentality, and it's not an excuse. I'm not saying that to anyone. What I did, I got angry, and there's no excuse for that. And that's probably the only thing I would take back is try to do as was planned, is to be a silent march to the statue.
Sure. Kosik, anything else that you wanted to know? Anything else that you wanted to make sure to get across, or that I didn't get to ask that you wanted to make sure to mention?
The only thing I want to say at the end was, with the killings, is that I know the man who heckled me blamed me for the killings. He said this is my fault, and because I was an alternative right, and it was mainly on the alternative right who did it. I want to say that it has nothing to do with me or the people I've associated with. That man, he's not one of us. He maybe have been an alternative right, self-identifying, but the moment he killed someone, he's not one of us. We want nothing to do with him. We will all back his punishment if he's proven guilty. And that, to all the Antifa who keep threatening me, I believe that this shows that they are just as hypocritical. They are hypocrites. These are people who preach tolerance and love while at the same time threatening people with a different political ideology. That we go to our rallies and they harass us and attack us, but they held theirs and we ignore them. You don't see right-wing protests get this like this. And so I'm hoping that these events show that the far left, the Antifa and the communists, they are just as dangerous, if not more dangerous, than the right wing could ever be.
Does your group and other groups that you're meeting with over the weekend, do you guys have an ally in Donald Trump?
We do not really believe so. Some of us voted for him, some of us didn't. But he's not really, none of us, we all know he's not an identitarian. He's not right. He's a president of the United States who has his own agenda. He's Trumpian. He's Trump. He does his own thing. So saying he's an ally, I think, is a far stretch. He condemned the violence on both sides, as he should. So there's that.
People have said, that he didn't come out and denounce. He denounced the violence and condemned the violence, but not the groups and the ideology. That's
something I'm not really sure how to say. He's the president of the United States. He's probably in a very tough position with it. Probably on people on both sides. Probably pressuring me to denounce both sides. However, I believe that President Trump should denounce the far left more than the right. We had a legal rally, and we had no intention of violence. And it was the counter-protesters who were the ones who were getting angry and trying to agitate us. They're the ones trying to harm us. Some of us, Baked Alaska, who was there, that's his pen name, he had a chemical weapon thrown in his face. He's hospitalized. He might not be able to see. And a lot of us are worried that one of our own might go permanently blind, and that's from the far left. We're far more violent. They started the violence, so denounce the far left.